We're streaming. Hey, hello, my babies. We're live. Bob Rowe, good morning. My attorney. He got me this gold chain. You know that? Dude, he bought me. No, he bought me a really nice, velour tracksuit. He bought me, really awesome old school velour tracksuit, and he got me this gold chain for Father's Day.
And then did he also get you tuxedo shoes to go with the tracksuit?
He got me tuxedo shoes to go with the tracksuit, yeah. Pack of Marlboros. I'm just putting in my t-shirt now. Yo. All right, let's get this going. Yeah, he got me a pair of Sergio Ticini.
There we go.
Real deal Italian gear.
There we go, babe.
All right, let me...
This guy's walking around with a pair of Sergio Ticcinis.
All right, let me pull up the notes here.
Terrible Dennis Miller, by the way, for everybody who's...
Was that Dennis Miller?
It's supposed to be Dennis Miller.
I didn't pick up on it.
You're walking around looking like a real Mr. Gonzo, Cha-Cha.
All right. It's going to weigh me down. It's real gold. You know that? Look at this thing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Is that why it's rattling around like that?
That's why it's rattling around. That's the sound of real gold. All right.
I should take a bite out of it.
All right. I want to replace all my teeth with gold. All right, let me pull this up. All right. All right, that's that.
We should do a show where we just don't say anything. And
no, we just go through. Okay, that's done. That's it. This is it. That's
noodle
that.
Around.
All right, I am good to go. Close Twitter. I got too much stuff open on this computer. That's the problem. All right, and we are good. All right, Rich. Hello, everybody. I am good to start. Nice Saturday edition. Last week was a Sunday, Rich. You put that we did the show on Saturday. We did it on Sunday.
What happened?
We did the show on Sunday last week.
What did I say?
You said Saturday.
When?
On Twitter.
You tweeted it out.
Wait, today?
Yeah.
Oh no, did I?
You don't. Oh man. Were you in the forbidden zone?
Well, 2 Saturdays and who cares? It's interchangeable.
It's all right.
The days
Close
are
enough.
interchangeable.
Saturdays, it's all interchangeable. There's no
tomato.
There's no more genders anymore. There could be no more days.
Let me tell you, I have had an obligation every single day of every weekend for the last month and a half, so I'm a little burnt out on weekends. I don't know what's Saturday and what's Sunday anymore.
Nobody does. I love your Batman mug. You're out of focus.
Thank you.
If you could fix your focus.
I gotta move in front of the capture.
There you go. It's so wild. It likes it there. All right. All right. Thomas, just checking in on you guys. Been a while. Good to see you, man. All right. You ready, Rich?
Yeah.
I'm going to hit record. We'll begin in 3, 2, and 1. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Mat Men, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm Adrian Tate, and I'm joined by the real Forbidden Door, Rich Stambolian.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm very excited about this weekend, and I'm excited to see everybody in the chat room. It seems like Saturdays are really hitting these high notes for all our fellow wrestling fans, because this room is getting filled up with long times and first times.
Yeah, man, I'm loving this. Also, producing the show, not the Forbidden Door, but the Forbidden Dork, MG Geek is here.
So good.
He copied my shirt, dude. He's wearing a Bullet Club shirt.
Should I run and get my Bullet Club shirt?
Yeah, but you can't have. But it's only going to be a crop top on you. See, he has full sleeves. I got no sleeves. You got to wear a crop top.
Okay, I'll tie it at the belly.
You tie it at the belly, guys. This show's all about professional wrestling and everything that's going to happen. Tomorrow's Forbidden Door. SmackDown last night was fun. We also got Rampage last night, Dynamite, Collision tonight. Holy moly. Where do you want to start?
A lot of stuff. You know what? I'm going to start it off with the news and do a little bit of numbers.
Do it.
As I'm not trying to be a numbers guy, but I feel like I can handle it. AEW Collision debuted with an average of 816,000 viewers and did a .33 in the demo.
Great.
Whatever that means. I don't know what that means.
They do like a .11 normally in that time slot, so that was great for them. We happen to get these numbers. Do you remember? Sunday, right? We got these numbers on Sunday. And it was a long weekend, so the numbers were delayed. But I was surprised how accurate those numbers were, because I had 814 with a .33 in the demo. The final number ended up becoming 816, which, listen, man, we'll see where it lands. I don't know as far as expectation goes for the first show, but I do know that they want to be over 730 weekly for the show.
Now, let me ask you something. I don't know if this has been done or if anybody has any insider information. Can you bet money on these numbers?
I'm sure you can in the UK.
Really? So you
I'm
can't
almost
go to Vegas
certain.
And be like, hey, listen, I think Collision's going to do like over 1 million viewers. I'm going to put like $200 on it. Let's see what happens.
I'll tell you, though, my buddy Rob would probably take that bet. All the bookies in the neighborhood. We should get them to start doing ratings, wrestling ratings. That's what we should do.
That'd be wild.
All
Imagine
the
if you
degenerate
start,
bookies in the neighborhood.
You start like a trend.
I want to start a trend. I'm going to start a
You'd
trend
be like-
of betting on numbers.
You'd be like the new Al Capone. You'd be like Bayside's Al Capone.
With wrestling ratings?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was solid. Solid numbers. SmackDown last week, ratings were up for Jey Uso's decision to 2.43, but a .67 in the demo. Did fantastic numbers. Wrestling is hot. Hey, we're going to talk about NXT in a little bit, because they did tremendous numbers last week for Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. So, interesting stuff. WWE reveals the date and location for Fastlane. Fastlane's coming to Indianapolis in October. Dave also noted that more main roster stars will appear on NXT going forward. This is the changeover in NXT. They have realized that, listen, these guys are carrying some weight onto that product, because the product is so hot right now, and it's carrying over. Ronda Rousey is one of the names that'll likely appear on NXT now that she's a tag with Baszler.
I'm cool with that. That's a good move, I think.
Yeah, I think that's fine. NXT drew 773,000 viewers last week for Seth Rollins' title defense against Braun Breaker. Listen, Braun, this is the second highest since April of 2021. I don't remember what that show would have been, but that's big. 2 years? Biggest number in 24 months? That's humongous for them.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Are you watching any NXT?
You know what? I honestly wanted to tune in to see the Rollins Braun Breaker match, but I'll be honest with you, I forgot. I plumb forgot. Have you watched any?
I watched some of this. It's just hard for me, dude. I can't put in another show. I can't.
Yeah,
is that a bomb going? What is that?
Sometimes they're
what the hell?
Sometimes a plane flew overhead. Never heard a plane before?
I've never seen a plane. What is
You've
that?
never taken a plane before?
What is taking a plane?
What do you think George Washington would think of airplanes?
Oh, he would hate them.
You think so? You do think he'd be freaked out like immediately?
What would happen if George Washington lands in Midtown? You think he would just implode?
He appears.
Yeah. But he's like old-timey George Washington,
Like George Washington, fresh from 1776 George Washington, just crossed the Delaware, about to win the independence of the country, and he shows up in Times Square.
He's in Times Square, like current day Times Square, yeah.
A buddy of mine had a good point. I asked a lot of people this. He'd be like, I think he'd be really freaked out by the skyscrapers.
I can't imagine it would be a pleasant experience.
Right?
People want to take photos with him.
Like the tallest building back then was what, maybe 40 feet tall.
I'm sure, yeah. Couple stories.
Yeah, a couple stories. And imagine somebody seeing the Empire, the Chrysler Building for the first time.
Wild.
And you're from the colonial days.
What do you think he would think of pro wrestling?
I think he'd love it.
You think? Oh, he would have to. He would have to love it. How do you not love it?
I think he'd try to get involved somehow.
Who would his favorite wrestler be?
Brock Lesnar.
Oh, has to be.
He'd be like, oh, I love this Amish lad.
I could use him on the front lines.
Exactly.
There's no other show you'll get fan fiction about George Washington landing in Times Square. Appearing in Times Square magically. It's unbelievable. AEW announces the Owen Hart tournament brackets. This was done in a very strange way. CM Punk is taking on Kojima at Forbidden Door in one of the first matches for this tournament. Roderick Strong is facing Samoa Joe. Dustin Rhodes will be taking on Powerhouse Hobbs. Juice Robinson will be taking on Ricky Starks on the June 29th edition of Collision. That's for the men's side. Women's side, Britt Baker takes on Ruby Soho next week on Dynamite. Sky Blue defeated Anna Jay on Rampage this week. And Nyla Rose will take on Willow Nightingale this Saturday at Collision. Athena will be facing Billy Starks at Forbidden Door pre-show. All right.
Cool.
Listen, CM Punk Kojima. We have come full circle from that 2005-ish, Ring of Honor shoot video where CM Punk legendarily does an impersonation of Homicide, calling Gabe Sapolsky, but it was CM Punk calling Gabe, and he's telling him how he has to no-show the event because he has an opportunity to go wrestle in All Japan against Kojima. And we got the famous lariat line. Hysterical. We have come full circle. And most likely he's facing Samoa Joe the following week.
Wild. I honestly do think, you know what? I do feel like the match for the pay-per-view should have been Samoa Joe. But listen, I get it. It's fine. Are you hot for Kojima versus Punk?
Dude, you know what? I really want to see Kenta and Punk, right? And
yes.
Listen, sometimes I said this to Garrett, the other guy I do a show with.
Who?
Yeah, that guy. I said this to Garrett on Tuesday. I was like, I was so into that concept for the match, but like I'm okay with being wrong with my what I like. Like very easily. I could say, you know what? I'm really into this crap. You're not into it. It's great. Like Danhausen. I could watch Danhausen do interviews all afternoon.
Okay.
Right? There are people that they're not into this. Very into Danhausen. I was really into Kenta and Punk. Like, I want to see that match. I think it's a great concept. Same finisher, the story of who made it popular.
Yeah.
Nobody apparently cared to see that match. Like, every time I
wild?
brought it up, dude, I'm really very surprised by that. Very surprised. And, I was talking to Kyle, our buddy Kyle.
Yeah. I know.
And he's like, dude, Kent, it's like you're remembering something from 15 years ago that nobody ever talked about. It was only very small. I think the bigger match for him would be someone like Kojima. And he brought this up 2 weeks ago to me. I was like, Kojima. And then as soon as they announced it, I'm like, yeah, I want to see this. So I've done a total 180. I'm so psyched for Kojima Punk because it's such a wacky match to have.
It is a wacky match, and probably it's going to be an easy day at the office for both guys.
Yeah, they're both great workers,
Yeah.
Have they ever worked together?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm going to say no. Not to my knowledge.
I don't know. Queen's in the house.
You know who I feel like would have been a great opponent for Punk if they put a little story behind it? Naito.
Yeah, that would have been great too. I would have loved that. There's so many of those for him. There's a laundry list of really unique matches for Punk to have. I think we're kind of seeing the flow right now, right? Where he's going to do Kojima, Samoa Joe following week, probably, maybe.
Jay White.
You'll probably have a match with Juice. You'll probably have a big match with Jay White.
Yeah.
Think about the next, I would say the whole summer. His program is done. The other question is that title belt that he's walking around with in a garbage bag.
In a sack, yeah.
In a sack. Raw notes. You want to go into this?
Yeah, let's do it. All right, Monday Night Raw. Tommaso Ciampa returned. Good return. Crowd was nice and hot for him. I'm glad to see the guys back.
Yeah. He looked great.
He looked great. Yeah, looked great. Logan Paul was added to the Money in the Bank ladder match as the 7th person. So he's winning this thing, right?
Dude. MG.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to say hello to you. That's all.
Oh, hi.
I would say he should win it I would say he should win it, and I think he should win the title.
Yes, you know what? I agree with you. You think
Because
he's going to be the one to?
Does it matter? Does it matter that he wins that title?
It doesn't, because it would be Seth, right? He'd go after Seth.
He'd go after Seth. He beats Seth somehow, wins the title. He does a whole summer thing. He goes on all these podcasts and all these radio shows and all these YouTube videos, walking around with that title. And then he gets his ass beat by somebody and he loses the title. Maybe he loses back to Seth. Maybe he could lose it to whoever else. I don't know.
Drops it to Roman Reigns at SummerSlam.
You know, like Roman's the title. I don't have a problem with him winning this. And I think as far as like business goes and like growth and what they're doing, like Logan Paul being that champion is totally up their alley. Like this whole concept of like, no, traditionalism. You don't put that title on someone undeserving. That's not a wrestler. No, they don't give a shit.
No, that WWE has done away with that concept. Like it's in the ground for them.
That's gone. That's gone. And you know, if that's what you're doing, if that's like your perspective and your initiative, Logan Paul winning the WWE title or whatever that title is, right? World title? Is that what's that title?
World title. World heavyweight title.
Okay. Him winning that title doesn't make really a big difference in the lineage of, you know, what's happening with their world champion, because we all know that Roman is the real world champion in their eyes, and this is a secondary belt. I'm not diminishing what Seth is doing or any of the guys. I'm saying if you are looking at this from a marketing perspective, a business perspective, a guy like a Logan Paul that hits your key demo, is your exact key demo for audience growth and everything else that you're doing, why not put the title on him if that's what your plan, if that's what you're doing?
And listen, like you said before, he will be on every single talk show and podcast with this thing. You know, he'll be on Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon, all the Jimmys, and it's just easier,
Jimmy Neutron,
right? Jimmy Neutron. It's just easier for Jimmy Glick. It's easier for
Jimmy
WWE
Carter,
to put the title.
Jimmy
there
Page.
Jimmy Page. It's like a no-brainer, right? And then he'll lose it to Goldberg at SummerSlam.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Bah.
The match you never thought you wanted to see. Goldberg versus Logan Paul?
Like if I'm playing Booker, would I book Logan Paul as my world champion? No, but if I know that comes along with a, you know, X amount of pop in my numbers here and X amount of viewership here and ad revenue from here, I'm probably going to consider it. Again, it's their decision making in that company is far beyond what's best for booking. If that was the case, we would have a very different product. You know, if you're talking about booking philosophy versus business philosophy, you'd have a very different product. And I think they're in a, you know, they book to market.
Well, also think about like the clips that they will reuse. Like Logan Paul does the impossible. He wins the Money in the Bank ladder match. And then all of a sudden, Logan Paul does the impossible. He takes the title off of Seth Rollins, blah, blah, blah. You know? I'm cool with it. And I'm probably going to get heat for that, but like I'm totally cool with this guy like winning that Money in the Bank and then winning the title somehow. Yeah,
that would be front page on YouTube. You know, front page on YouTube, the most viewed YouTube clip in history. I'm sure they can manufacture that somehow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where Logan Paul gets the win over Seth Rollins and Seth is sitting in the ring and he kind of looks strong because he doesn't lose like by actually losing. He loses from a cash in and he's like giving like the whole like, good job, you beat me. Now I'm going to kick your ass later. Whatever.
Like you did what I did.
You did.
You know,
you did what I did. What I did is you did. Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. Uh-oh. We've come full circle.
Exactly.
Forbidden Dork was your joke, by the way. I want to give you credit because it was so effing funny to me that you said call him the Forbidden Dork.
Thank you.
We have writers' meetings here. I don't think people realize how much goes into this ridiculous show that we do.
Do a little pre-show writers jam.
Yeah. I think Logan Paul comeback is a big thing. Matt Riddle beat Ludwig Kaiser. Why'd you write Bugatti? His name is Ludwig Kaiser Bugatti now?
Is his name Ludwig Kaiser Bugatti, or is that a different word?
Please. His name is not... there is no Bugatti in that man's name. Why did you write Bugatti?
I wish that dude's name was Kaiser Bugatti, to be honest with you.
Can you explain yourself here?
Yeah, MG, explain yourself.
Oh, he's dead.
I think he left.
I'm here.
Oh, did you hear what we just said? Why are you on the moon?
Because the moon is nice.
The latency between us is out of control. Why did you write Bugatti?
I don't know. What did I write?
Ludwig Kaiser Bugatti. That's his name.
I don't know, dude. I can't
Okay,
tell.
I'm going to read you guys word for word. Matt Riddle beat Ludwig Kaiser Bugatti down after his ankle was injured.
Oh boy.
Could you?
Yeah, where'd that come from, man? Are you trying to summon a Bugatti? Kaiser Bugatti would be great. Andrew or
Kaiser
UMG,
Bugatti?
if you decide to go into indie wrestling, I feel like you should take the name Kaiser Bugatti.
Yeah. I listen, we're giving this guy.
Oh, most definitely. Most
Yeah.
definitely.
You guys could have this. Whoever is that up and coming indie guy, Kaiser Bugatti is a great name.
Kaiser Bugatti is a ridiculous, awesome indie name.
Yeah, great name. I think they should change it. Don't tell Vince. He'll change his name to Bugatti.
And
Trish
then
wins
take
them
credit for my
and then take
idea.
credit for it. I can't believe that. That's a good F up in the notes. Trish
That's a
Stratus
pretty
wins.
good F up.
Yeah, Trish Stratus wins the Money in the Bank spot after Becky Lynch attacked her, costing Raquel Gonzalez the match.
Great.
There we go. NXT, Seth Rollins defeated Braun Breaker. Default to retain his world championship. Default.
This is great.
You know, this is. I thank God you're a union employee because you would have been fired a long time ago.
Guys are
Thank
freaking
God.
teams
He
there.
has a very powerful union behind him. I can't. He's tenured. It's like the teachers union. I can't get him out. He has to stab a
Whenever
kid.
Whenever Andrew yells at him, he's like, "Listen, I pay my dues every month. All right."
Okay, $25 dues. I pay him. And after Finn Balor attack, continuing the storyline for Raw, maybe Finn costs Seth something. You know, that's a cool
yeah.
thing too. Very, very cool. SmackDown highlights from last night, and then we're gonna go into everything with AEW. The Usos opened the show, cut a promo on Roman, saying that once Roman stopped respecting them, they needed to be out. They hyped the Civil War match at Money in the Bank. I'm excited for that, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, backstage, Solo Sikoa, Samoan spiked Ridge Holland, setting up the main event with Sheamus. LA Knight defeated Rey Mysterio. Big reaction for LA Knight. Dude, I'm into him. And this is another thing, right?
Same.
Okay. I was at that Garden show. I saw that pop. Kids freaking love him.
Yeah.
And I think that began the turnaround for this guy. I think people in key positions in that company realized, listen, we got something here. His age has come into play. He's 40 years old. Listen, I think a lot of that stuff is out the window. 40 today versus 40, 20 years ago, very different. However, he is there's something there for sure with him. For sure.
I think so.
But again, a lot of people don't like him. They say it's an Austin ripoff. I don't care. I like that. I like a little Austin edge to him. Ha ha. Oh, whatever he's saying. What does he say?
It's one of those three. Oh.
It's one of those. I'm into it. I'm not. I mean, that's what they said about Ken Kennedy. Remember that?
Oh my God, yeah.
That he was an Austin copy. He was a next coming of Austin. Weird era. That era is really weird.
Very strange. It was borderline terrible, but also borderline great.
That guy was going to be the man, right? He was
Yeah.
he was set to become the guy, and he was set to be Vince's son
Ah, so good.
instead of
Well, you know what?
Hornswoggle.
Didn't he go to Impact and like dominate Impact for like a few years?
Yeah, he did. But I wasn't into that. I think he took it like, what would he call people? He would call people an a-hole, right? That was his thing.
Dummy.
I forgot.
No, I think
dummy?
he would call people. No. Who are you talking about, MG?
I'm on another planet. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Continue.
We're not talking about LA Knight. We're talking about Ken Kennedy now.
Oh, okay.
You know what? He went to that concert, and I think whatever weird Michigan drugs he did have lingered into his system.
It's
Yeah, man. Are you
possible.
okay?
I'll live.
They got some crazy stuff there. Let's see what else happened here. LA Knight defeated Rey Mysterio. Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey defeated. They won they unified the tag titles. Alba
Yeah.
Fire and what's her name? MG, you could chime in here.
Isla Dawn.
Yeah, Isla
yeah,
Dawn.
thank you.
Mhm.
The
Sorry.
name I missed it.
Are you freaking out too?
I'm sorry, guys.
Is this some kind? Is this?
Turn
Are
the
you
lights
decomposing right now?
I'm turning the lights off. Good night.
This guy's decomposing,
Dude.
in a row.
I'm decomposing the second week in a row. Raquel Gonzalez was ringside watching them after the match. He brought him out after Liv Morgan to challenge for the title. They never lost. Okay, the Grayson Waller effect. I hate that segment, by the way. We're
Same
Pretty
here.
Deadly was basically putting over their gauntlet wing from last week, from the week before. The gauntlet wing.
Laden with misspellings. I love it. This is amazing.
What time
This
did you
might be
do
a
these
record.
notes? This is, dude. This is unbelievable, and I'm
know what?
enjoying it.
I giggle so hard at the fact that it fucks you up so much. Like it's like a Ron Burgundy thing, you know, like whatever's on the thing, you will read it. And I always worry that he's gonna put something in there that's like really gnarly, and it'll
I'm
just
waiting.
throw your whole thing off. Like the day he gets pissed at you, where he's
Oh.
just gonna write a bunch of rhetoric and propaganda on there. Oof.
Pretty Deadly defeated the Street Profits. 1776 will commence again. What are you adding to this note?
And George Washington will rise in Times Square.
George Washington will rise to power once again. Oh my God, it's getting wacky. There's a lot of numbers now and squiggles. How are you drawing tildes?
A lot of signets in there.
Charlotte defeated Lacey Evans. Solo Sikoa fought Sheamus to a no contest, 14 minutes. The match was called off after a barricade spot where Sheamus looked to be knocked out. The Usos attacked Solo after setting up Roman's return next week in London because it's Money in the Bank.
Awesome. Yeah, listen, let me tell you something. I don't care about the barricade spot anymore.
Oh, you're over it? I get it.
I feel like
Everybody
it's been
does it too
done
much.
every week and a half. We're getting like a barricade spot.
Yeah, it's too much. I get it. $1.99
MG,
from Matt Logan. Rich needs an edible.
Yes, thank you. MG, can you throw the link to the questions at the bottom, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, sir. My bad.
Trenton goes, just restart the show. No, I mean, this adds even more to it. What other show are you going to get misinformation in your notes? Let's do AEW. You want to go down the card?
Yeah, the
Dynamite?
Guns. The Guns defeated the Hardys. Austin and Colton Gunn defeated the Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff. Jay White and Juice Robinson interfered, helping the Guns win. They all attacked the Hardys. Listen, I dug this. FTR and then Punk and Ricky Starks made the save. Punk leaves out the challenge for Collision. Says he's a Collision guy, not supposed to be here. Very much referencing Dante and Clerks. Which I think is going to be
that what
his
it
new
was?
character going forward. I think he's just going to be Dante from Clerks. I'm not supposed to be here.
That's great. I thought this was good, and this was also to take Jeff off of TV for the Canadian tour because he cannot go to Canada.
Cannot go to Canada.
He cannot go to Canada. He is banned. So are we.
Well,
Yeah, 1998, they caught us selling Gap T-shirts, smuggled in Gap T-shirts. You know, there's no Gaps in Canada.
oh really? I did not know that.
Gap's Old Navy's not allowed. They're banned from Canada. We were selling it at the border in 1998, and the Border Patrol is like, hey, you can't do that here. And then they took us, give us a little slap on the wrist and then shocked us with their Mountie sticks.
Our argument was that look, these shirts have 2 P's on them.
That was our argument. It didn't work.
Selling
work.
bootleg Gap shirts at the border. I remember those days.
That was a good time, dude.
we were also, I think, we were also selling bootleg boner pills too.
I still do that. I'm still selling bootleg boner pills. Mark Briscoe defeated Jeff Jarrett in a concession stand brawl. This was nuts.
Funny, great match.
Yeah, I had fun with this match. Had fun. Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Minoru Suzuki defeated Action Andretti, Darius Martin, and AR Fox. This was... First of all, Minoru is the best. There's nobody better than
he's
Minoru.
awesome.
Is there a better pro wrestler, like the epitome of a professional wrestler than Minoru Suzuki?
The guy just wants to have fun and kick ass, it seems. And he's always been like that, right? Honestly, like my favorite spot of the match was them doing the Jericho doing the Sammy
pose?
pose with
Yeah.
Suzuki.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. Suzuki's fantastic. So into this dude. Very a unique act. He has stood the test of time. This guy was a Pancras guy.
Yep.
He was fighting Ken Shamrock in Pancras. or as
Totally
my
down
wife
for
calls
anything.
it, the King of Pancakes title.
The King of Pancakes.
Do you know that story?
That's
We went
pretty
to
good,
we went to Boss Rutan's gym because we have like mutual friends with Boss, and I was going there because Randy Katami, the guy that like runs the gym with him, we were friends. So he's like, "Hey, come in, we'll train or something." And we were like training, whatever you want to call it, right? It was a great workout, and on the wall there's the Pancras title. And like we went like we used to go to California all the time, so we would go every time we would go to see, go there. And she's like, "Why does it say King of Pancakes?" I'm like, "That's King of Pancras." She's
I
like,
do like the King of Pancakes though.
She's like, "I honestly thought it was like an eating contest. Somebody won an eating contest. The King of Pancakes
That's amazing.
championship." Yeah,
That's
hysterical story. Hysterical.
That's pretty awesome.
Or the King of Pancreas.
The King of
Like,
Pancras.
Yeah. So that was a great match. In a tape backstage segment, Eddie Kingston interrupted the Elite to say he will be their tag team partner in a 5-way match at Forbidden Door, but he picked the last guy. But he's picking the last guy. So who do you think that last guy will be?
Well, they announced it already.
Oh, who is it?
It's Ishii.
Oh, Ishii's the last guy. There you go. Oh, yeah.
I was honestly hoping for Homicide.
You were hoping for Homicide?
Yeah. That
would
would have
be
been a
great.
wacky match. But I think Homicide showing up like this week or next week.
Homicide is in a tag with Mox.
Yeah, I have it at the end. I have that whole card at the end. So
Yeah.
But Ishii's great. I think this is gonna be a great match because there's a lot of heat going into it. And is Eddie and Mox gonna touch? Are they like that's another story? Eddie going against Claudio. Very much looking forward to this Forbidden Door.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun show tomorrow for sure. I wish it was tonight, to be honest. I like the Saturday watching. I don't like the Sunday pay-per-views as much.
Yeah, same here.
So next week is WWE Money in the Bank, and it is not going head-to-head with Collision. Because Collision is on at 8, and this show is on in the afternoon because it's a UK show. So, do you want to come over?
Yeah.
I'm
out of town, my friend.
Oh, wow. Where are you going?
Yeah. We got a house out in Long Island for July 4th.
Oh, you going for the Hamptons?
It might be beyond the Hamptons.
You going to the ocean?
I'm going to the ocean.
Hey, the ocean's not safe these days, man. Be careful.
It's a houseboat. We got a houseboat.
You got a houseboat. Nice. I knew someone that lived on a houseboat in Brooklyn.
Were they a complete psychopath?
Yeah.
I feel like if you own a houseboat, you're like off your rocker.
Yeah.
No offense.
No offense.
Out there.
You know who's gonna? I could see as like an RVer.
Who?
Like to permanently live on an RV. Joel Pearl. Van life.
I could see that. I thought you were gonna say MG. I could see MG RVing around the country.
No, he lives in a cabin, dude, like a Ted Kaczynski.
Oh,
yes.
It's his idol. R.I.P.
Yeah.
Sorry, MG.
Yeah, so sorry, man. He could be. He really very much so has a Ted Kaczynski vibe to him. Have you seen his ramblings? He's writing his manuscript. It's out of control.
It's out of control.
Out of control. Adam Cole and MJF face off. They find out that they're tag partners in the Blind Eliminator tournament. They also both came to a mutual agreement that they both hate Tony Schiavone. They told him to shut up, which I thought that was a fun little twist. Cole talked MJF into agreeing to show up to defend his title against Tanahashi. So we are getting Tanahashi and MJF tomorrow. What a weird, bizarro match.
Imagine if Tanahashi takes the AW title off MJF. How great would that be?
I mean, that would be what a shocking moment, right?
Yeah.
NJPW TV champion Zack Sabre Jr. and Daniel Garcia defeated AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy and Pure Champion Shibata. I thought this was great. I think Daniel Garcia and Zack Sabre Jr. were fantastic together. Zack Sabre Jr. is putting on some weight.
Yeah.
It's like what I'm doing right now. I'm beefing up.
Yeah, you got all those body competitions at the end of the summer.
I got all the body, dude. I gotta get into shape. I'm competing.
Local bodybuilding competitions.
Yeah, in the park.
At all the bars on Bell Boulevard.
It's just very overweight and very thin people just
Mhm.
doing pose downs.
No in between.
No in between. Very much oiled up though.
It's just a body competition. There's no rhyme or reason.
Yeah, there's no rhyme or reason. It's not like a body. It's just a body competition.
You got a body, show up. You're in.
Chris Statlander defeated Taya Valkyrie to retain the TBS title. Eddie Kingston came out to announce the fifth man would be, and he says by saying how much he hates Claudio, but Moxley, who's his friend, showed up to confront him. Then Eddie realized it was about to come to blows. He announced Ishii is the last member of the team. All right. Last night, Rampage. We rarely do Rampage results.
Well, we should mention,
yes.
I
Go.
left it off, but the end of that was Okada or Bryan Danielson came out and was going to stomp Ishii.
What a great stare
And
down,
then-
huh?
Yes, and
Yeah.
then we got the big stare down that ended the show.
Yeah, Danielson is a little banged up, but I think saving him for these kind of big moments with like,
Oh, yeah.
this has to be a dream match for him as well, right?
He said as much. He has definitely said as much. So
I mean, he's wrestling one of the greatest Japanese wrestlers of all time, arguably one of the best ever to wrestle in general, depending how you measure these things. So very cool. I'm
and they
excited for that
mentioned
match.
it as a main event, so they did mention it. It'd be the main event.
It is
so.
the main event. You know what? Well deserving. I think that match should be the main event. I think that's a great idea.
Absolutely.
You want to run down Rampage very quickly?
Yeah, let's Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher, Jeff Cobb, and Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana defeated Rocky Romero, Chuck Taylor, Trent Beretta, and Yo. Fun match. I'm so excited for Ospreay versus Omega on Sunday. Adam Cole was interrupted by MJF, who made his first appearance on Rampage. Thank Cole for giving him the courage to take the match against Tanahashi. So he rewarded him with a match of his own. Adam Cole gets attacked by Filthy Tom Lawler and Royce Isaacs, setting up Filthy Tom Lawler versus Cole at Forbidden Door. That's going to be a good match.
Yeah.
The Acclaimed Billy Gunn defeated Enhancement Talents. Sky Blue defeated Anna Jay. And Jungle Boy defeated Dookie with Sonata appearing at the end for a face-off. Sonata straight up looking like a gangster. You know what? Sonata's presence in front of Jungle Boy actually sold me on the match. Like, I kind of want to see what these guys are going to do.
Collision tonight. This is going to be great. I'm very excited for this card.
Yeah.
CM Punk, AEW Tag Champions, FTR, and Ricky Starks versus Switchblade Jay White, Juice Robinson, and the Guns. Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Swerve Strickland.
Wow.
Okay, wacky team up. I love this. Very cool concept for a match. Christian Cage addresses the TNT title. We learned Sting and Darby's partner for Forbidden Door. Who's the rumored guy for this?
Goldberg.
Is it Goldberg?
The front runner is Naito.
Naito?
I heard, because him and Jericho had a thing over there. The one also I was thinking of was maybe Evil. But those are the two that come to mind. That would be
Why? Because he's like a
strong-
spooky guy. Evil's a little bit of a spooky guy.
Well, he was in feuding
Yeah.
with Jericho briefly too. So
Yeah.
and he is a little bit of a spooky guy.
Brody
Well,
King. Go ahead. Rick, sorry.
What are the odds that it's Muta?
He's retired, but I think Muta would be great.
Quote unquote wrestling
Yeah.
retirement.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
I'd say he'd be done. I don't think he'd come back this soon.
I think there's plenty of people that they could put in there.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people. Brody King battles Andrade. All right, cool. Two very good workers, one big dude, and Andrade is on he's on his return right now. So let's see what happens. Will Nightingale versus Nyla Rose, Owen Hart tournament. This sets up for Sunday. Sunday. Got 11 matches here, I believe, or 12 matches here. This card shaped up very quickly.
Yes.
Let's go down the card and give our predictions.
All right. 0 hour pre-show Owen Hart Foundation women's quarterfinal, Athena versus Billy Starks. I think it's going to be Athena.
Okay. I think Athena as well.
You got the Owen Hart Foundation men's quarterfinal, CM Punk versus Satoshi Kojima. I'm going Punk on this one, but I think there's going to be like a nonsense finish where him and Kojima clean house.
Does this match open the show?
Well, they got to usher this guy out of the arena, right?
Yeah, they gotta shoo him off. So I think this may open the show. My problem is this is Punk's first singles match in almost a year, right?
Yeah.
He's wrestling Kojima. It's for the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. Was this very last minute how this was put together? Or not? Because, really, this felt very rushed. And I get it. It was a timing thing. You didn't have Punk on TV to push this. The new show just started. But they really, I felt that it was very rushed.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You have Sting, Darby Allin, and Turnbuckle Dan versus Chris Jericho, Minoru Suzuki, and Sammy Guevara. Here's another name that could fit in this perfectly.
Yeah.
Liger.
Totally retired. He won't do it.
I feel like if they got Liger out of retirement for one match,
I got a
this would
name.
be One match. Go ahead.
I got a great name. Ken Shamrock.
There you go.
Makes all the sense in the world.
Well, they
Another
could
old
take
guy.
Yeah, put another old guy. With Monaro, though, they could do something nuts with Monaro.
The average age of this match is going to be like 65.
Well, yeah, you got
Well,
you got
you need-
Jericho. Jericho's in his 50s. Monaro's in his 50s. Sting is in his 60s. Sammy and
Yeah.
Darby are in their 20s.
They're in their teens.
They're teen boys. Yeah, they're teen heartthrobs.
Well, if like it's interesting because this could go a million different ways. Now, you want that Jericho shocked face, right?
Yeah. That's what
Like
you
to
want.
find out who it is. So, who would shock Chris Jericho that maybe he had a history with? Naito would be good, but would that pop the crowd?
I think it'll pop this crowd. This is going to be a
The-
very
the-
smart crowd.
The Goldberg rumors are very persistent.
Yeah,
Wild.
it's not going to be him. I mean, if it is, that's huge, right? You
Rob
do it
Van
on a
Dam.
show like this? Van
Yeah, it
Dam?
doesn't fit this.
Van Dam's under a Legends thing, I think.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
Bring Sabu.
it's gonna be
back?
very interesting.
You do Sabu
Oh man,
again?
do Sabu. Yeah, I'm interested. Like, who has a history?
Yeah.
Because they're crossing like WCW, New Japan, and AEW, right? Like, this is like their whole like thing. Who could Sting call upon to be the guy?
Yeah. I don't know. Otomo Dragon? Maybe it could be Otomo?
Oh,
Otomo.
that's cool. Otomo.
I don't know. You could.
But I think-
Oh, Hoovy?
Hoovy would be fun.
The Juice?
The Juice. Hoovy would be fun. He looks great too.
I think it's going to be a New Japan talent, obviously. So
Okay.
I don't know who. I don't know who, but I think it's definitely a New Japan talent.
But I do think Sting, Darby, and whoever else is going to win.
Yeah.
Jericho's going to take the pin on this one. I think Sammy's going to leave him. Jericho takes the pin and all the finishers.
Yeah. I think that's great. Perfect.
Adam Cole versus Tom Lawler. I'm saying Tom Lawler wins with shenanigans.
Dude, I'm excited for this. Filthy Tom?
Same here.
Super psyched for this. I want to see Tom Lawler and Adam Cole. That's another wacky match. Is Tom Lawler coming out with his denim short shorts? We'll find out.
We'll find out. This is going to be a fun match.
Is
You have
Tom
Eddie King-
Lawler coming out with his sexy little tiny blue shorts? We'll find out. See you next time, America.
Will Tony Khan license New Kids on the Block for him?
Oh, yeah. That's what he comes out to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Eddie Kingston, Ishii, and the Elite, the Young Bucks and Hangman Page versus the Blackpool Combat Club, Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta, and Shota Umino, and Takeshita.
I'm very excited about this.
Right? Very cool combination here. I'm into this.
As soon
This feels like a very
Mox
much-
said shooter. Yeah.
Doesn't this feel like a very typical New Japan booking from like 2017?
Oh, 100%. I think that's why I'm so excited. And when Mox called out Shooter the other day, I lost it.
Yeah.
I hope he comes out to his Death Rider theme, and not Wild Thing. But
Very cool.
probably won't be the case. Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe. No, actually, Kenny comes out to his New Japan theme.
that's
tomorrow.
true. Who takes it? Who takes this, Andrew?
This match?
Yeah.
I think the Elite takes it. No, I think Blackpool Combat Club.
With shenanigans, with Don Callis shenanigans.
Yeah, definitely with some shenanigans.
I feel like Eddie's gonna turn on the Elite.
Oh, and join the Blackpool Combat Club?
Yeah, or be like their like other guy. You know.
Yeah, it's a fascinating team up here.
Mm-hmm.
AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy defends against Daniel Garcia, Zack Sabre Jr., and Shibata in a 4-way for the title. So you got 3 guys out of the 4 with titles here.
Right.
All right, cool. I think, does Orange Cassidy win?
I think he retains, but I wouldn't mind seeing any of these guys with that belt.
You could do Daniel Garcia. You could do Zack Sabre Jr. He's doing stuff in Ring of Honor. You could do Shibata. All right, cool. Whatever. Either or works for me.
Yep. Got AEW Women's Champion Toni Storm defending against Willow Nightingale. I think Toni takes it. I feel like for some reason this is going to be like a quick match.
Yeah, Toni has to, for sure.
This
and now
is the replacement match.
That is the replacement match. Yeah,
this was most certainly going to be Mercedes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and think about what a mega match that would have been.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? That only tells me that Mercedes is coming back. I don't know how long her injury recovery time is, but she is it. Hey, I'll ask you: was she supposed to do something with Spider-Man? You saw that rumor?
Yeah, I did. I don't know if Rich did, but there was a movie that there was pitched, and she was pitched to be in it, but the movie got dumped by Sony, from what I understand.
Yeah. Did you know that?
I remember reading something about that. I think it may have been for the character Silk. I'm not 100% on it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just saw it in passing, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. AEW World, where are we? AEW World Champion MJF defends against Hiroshi Tanahashi. Another weird matchup, which this is the cool part, right? Like, that's a weird match you don't ever think you would see, and now you're going to see it. IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Sonata defends against Jungle Boy. This is one of those matches that I'm not really feeling. I'm sure it's going to be a fun...
Who's going to take that Tanahashi match? Is it going to be MJF or Tanahashi?
MJF, yeah. MJF takes it.
Okay.
Yeah. Tanahashi's not against doing jobs right now. He's kind of winding down. But Sonata's going to defeat Jungle Boy here, but I don't know where the payoff, what the story here is. Maybe it's a Jungle Boy turn on Hook.
Maybe.
I think that's what they're setting up, because he worked heel the other night on Rampage.
Mm-hmm. Okada versus Bryan Danielson in the as semi-main or the main, most likely the main here. This is going to be a clinic.
Oh, yeah.
And I expect it to be the total opposite of the match that we're going to see probably right before this, and that's the IWGP United States Championship. Kenny Omega defends against Will Ospreay. I think we're going to get 2 very different style, big feel main events here with these 2 matches. What are you more excited to see? Omega Ospreay or Danielson Okada?
Oh, tough. I think they're both equal right now in my WrestleOmeter. But I'm gonna pitch you something else. I'm sorry I keep going back to the Tanahashi thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tanahashi beats MJF.
Okay.
Right? Takes the title. This leaves Punk open to open that bag. And you finally get Tanahashi versus Punk. That should have happened
for the title. You know what? Title versus title. Okay. I great fantasy booking. I love that idea. I'm into it. I don't know if they'll do it.
And somehow Jungle Boy beats Sonata.
Jungle Boy beats Sonata. Wow.
Jungle Boy's the IWGP champion.
There are a few matches that are missing here. And one of them is what I really wanted to see was RJ City wrestle on this card.
Yeah.
I wanted RJ City to put on his gear and have a match, and I want it to be with like Minoru Suzuki. I want to see RJ City versus Minoru Suzuki with Danhausen on the outside.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Why can't that match happen? What is Tony Khan doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
I want to see.
Toriano would have been perfect for that.
No. I want a real serious, one of these.
Give us Yano versus Punk.
Yano versus Punk. I also want to see RJ City versus Ishii, because that's crazy.
He would eat him.
Yeah, he would swallow him whole. Yeah. Danhausen on the outside as always.
Danhausen's always on the outside of every match.
Danhausen on the outside. I also would like to see RJ City versus Tony Storm. That's another match I want to see with Danhausen on the outside. Yeah. I want to see all those.
What are you most looking forward to between Okada and the Ospreay match?
Definitely the Okada Danielson 100%. Because that's like my Danielson is like my prototypical perfect wrestling match to watch.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he has a little bit of a hybrid style. You know, he could do some high flying stuff, but that's not what he really does. I'm very intrigued by Tom Lawler, Adam Cole, just for my own giggles.
Yeah, yeah.
More than anything else. But overall, it's those two matches with probably the Punk and Kojima match. Because that's so weird. Like I'm like that's a 20-year-old match.
Yeah. I hope I could stay up for this whole thing because I feel like, like it's a great card.
The sleepies are going to get to you?
The sleepers are going to get to me. These shows are notoriously over after midnight. If I stay up past midnight, I turn into a gremlin. So we'll see.
Yeah. So, oh, you know what? I want Suzuki on Hey Ew.
Yes.
I want him on Hey Ew. I want Minoru Suzuki to do an interview with him. Maybe that's a possibility. I don't know, man. I think this card looks fun. It's a non-canon show, which I like a lot. You could have these crazy matches and then go from there. But we're also going to get, another couple of weeks. 6 weeks? We're going to get for the All-In show, which is going to be another crazy slammed show.
They did a better job this year.
With Forbidden Door?
Sorry. Yeah, doing the build-up and adding and weaving in and out of storylines kind of help, like the MJF and Adam Cole stuff, where they're teams, and now I'm going to pick your opponent for Forbidden Door. So they're kind of trying to because I think the build-up last year was really weak. The matches were great, but there was not a lot of build-up. They did a little bit better job this year, I think. I don't know about you guys, but.
Well, I think last year also we had, we had a ton of stuff happen. We had the Punk injury happen. We had, there was an MJF situation, whatever the hell that was. We also had Ring of Honor that he had just purchased. There was a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff.
Kenny wasn't ready to come back, right? Well, he wasn't on that show.
No, he was still.
And we kept saying this was like Rob Van Dam not being on that one night stand card,
right?
That he helped facilitate. So, things like that happen. I think right now they're a lot healthier as a company, so it's going to look better. I think this is a fun show. I doing it once a year and having these matches happen, I think that's fantastic. Really great stuff. Do you want to go into the New Japan show, or do you? Yeah, you know what, Rich, you want to run down this really, really fast, and then we'll go into.
Do you want to do the whole card or just like the highlights?
Do the highlights.
So we're gonna get Eddie Kingston and Rocky Romero versus Kento and Gato.
Okay.
Great. Right.
Cool.
You're gonna get Moxley in a no DQ Doomsday no DQ match. Moxley and Homicide versus Desperado and Jun Kasai. Awesome.
Jun Kasai. I don't think a lot of people are familiar with Jun Kasai.
Yeah, if you want to talk the king of the modern deathmatch, go watch the Jun Kasai stuff. It's effing wild, and he looks so gnarly.
Oh yeah, he's a wacky looking guy. Scary. He's a scary looking dude.
I think him and Mox are just gonna stab each other with forks for 20 minutes.
Yeah, this guy, he's when was his when did he start wrestling? He's 48 years old. Jun Kasai.
I want to say late 80s.
98.
Okay.
He began his in-ring career in 1998. Charisma of Deathmatch. Crazy Monkey, also his name.
Wild.
Yeah.
This is going to be a nutty match. I think everybody should check it out, especially if you like seeing like Moxley pushing the envelope, because there's no reason this guy should be doing these matches.
Oh, there's no reason he should, but he likes that. He likes doing it.
And your main, I believe, is for night one is TJP and Francesco Akira defend against Drilla Maloney and Clark Connors.
That's the main event?
AWGP Junior Tag Team Championship. Yeah. I feel like the main is going to end up being the Moxley match.
Yeah, it has to be.
Night two, you're getting Tanahashi and Ishii and the DKC versus Tom Lawler, Jarrell Nelson, and Royce Isaacs. Goto and Yoshihashi defend against Alex Coughlin and Gabe Kidd. And then you get a New Japan Strong Openweight Championship match. Kenta defending against Eddie Kingston.
Yeah. Very
awesome.
cool.
And then the final death match, John Moxley versus El Desperado. Moxley's doing bloody double duty.
Yeah, it starts at 5:10 a.m.
Crazy.
Where is this match happening? Where are these
It's
matches?
Corrigan Hall. So
Okay.
so I had a question.
Yeah.
So wasn't New Japan Strong supposed to be an American brand?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I was this when they announced this, I was like, why are they doing this in Japan then? I don't know if it's to introduce more of these guys that work mostly in America to
Maybe the Japanese
to a
audience.
Japanese crowd. Yeah.
Maybe.
Because I'm like, because it's under the New Japan Strong brand and not and New Japan itself.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting.
Mm.
Yeah. Q&A time, boys and girls. It is time
Hold
to
on,
meet
guys.
your... Yeah, what the hell?
One thing. Sorry.
Yeah, what the hell, man?
One thing before we go into questions, I have a question to kind of start it off.
All right.
You guys got any thoughts on the? Because I didn't put it in the notes.
I'm not
on the,
supporting your trip down to DC on January
no,
6th.
No,
Okay.
no.
2026. You're being a real Kaiser Bugatti right now.
Yeah, you're being a real Kaiser Bugatti.
Can I ask my question?
Yes, yes.
AEW Fight Forever. There's been renderings out now.
Yes.
The gameplay has been shown. You guys got any thoughts on it?
I got a pre-order. I'm pre-ordered for it, okay? I went and bought the most expensive useless console for this game, and that's a PlayStation 5. And you know what? I bought it from our friend Joseph Imagination, the professional wrestler from New Jersey.
Joseph Imagination.
I bought it from... Dude, he scammed me. I
Empty
opened that
box, right?
box. No, just fucking rocks. He put rocks in there and his old gear, his old stinky ring gear. I paid $550 for old stinky ring gear in a box.
Yeah,
No,
he took it.
yeah, we bought it. I bought it from Joey Image. He happened to have a spare PlayStation 5 that he got. He was planning on selling it, and he saw that I posted about it. He's like, "Hey, I got a PS5 if you want it." I was like, "Yeah, you want to bring it to me? I'll buy you lunch." He's like, "Yeah." Drove it over. We had a couple drinks with him. I had a cocktail.
First time
He
I
had
ever met
beer.
him.
First time you met him, and then we kept calling him Joseph Imagination for the rest of the night.
Mhm.
No. Not that the PS5 is useless. The PS5 is useless for this game. I didn't have to go and buy a PS5 just so I could play this game. I also bought a new 4K TV. That's a whole separate story. My son wanted a PS5, and I'm like, you know what? I kind of want a new TV. So I was like, Jess, I need to get a new TV with this PS5. So I bought a brand new TV, and I bought a PS5. I'm
Listen,
pre-ordered.
It's beautiful.
I'm psyched to play this with Rich more
Same
than
here.
anything else. Like, really, does the game look great? In the words of Steve Austin, it doesn't. It doesn't look great, but the gameplay seems to be a blast. I'm not really gonna judge my opinion of anything that I'm seeing online because a lot of these people are under embargoes and their NDA signed, so I don't know how unbiased of their reviews are. I can tell you that I'm hoping that this game is a lot of fun. I'm hoping that I could play it easily because the simulation games are too much. I can't. Like the 2K games, I haven't played it in so long. I'm so out of it, and it's so intimidating for me. Like, I wish there was like an arcade mode for these things.
Yeah.
You know, like if 2K had, if there was like, hey, I know you want to do the season and the simulation stuff, but if you want to do like the arcade stuff that's a little bit easier and the controls are different, I'd be all into it. Like, I can't play that game with my kids. My kids are too little to play it, and I'm too dumb.
You never know. Listen, if what they say is true, these controls are going to be very accessible, right?
Yeah, and also they do say that we did not go to the moon. Is that true?
Hey, listen, I don't know what Stanley Kubrick was doing, but they do say that he faked the moon landing and that The Shining was his confession of faking the moon landing.
Oh, is that what they say?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. That's a cool
There's
conspiracy.
a documentary called Room 237, and then it's about The Shining, and there's 3 different stories on it, and one of them is it's his sort of confession into faking the moon landing.
Not only is the world flat, it's also oblong.
Oblong? Is that how you say it?
Oblong.
It's oblong.
Oblong. 2K on easy mode is pretty chill. Maybe I should try that.
Yeah, I mean, also you could get the Switch version. What I'm excited for is the return of Game Men. That's going to happen once you get this game.
The last game we played was what? Streets of Rage?
I think it was Streets of Rage like 4 years ago.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking we would do, if this makes any sense, okay? I don't want to rip the PlayStation out of my living room and bring it here. So how do we stream it?
Can you set up shop in the living room?
I could set up a camera, or can't we just do like that remote gaming process?
You know, you could also just get like a really long HDMI cable.
Yeah, but what screen are you watching?
We can figure it out, Andrew. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, Josh goes, get a really long HDMI cable. I understand that.
Yeah, there you go.
A blong.
World's oldest frat boy.
Yeah.
We have something set up now that we're using that might solve this.
What?
What we did next recording. I think we can do it. We'll figure it out.
we're gonna stream it. It's not a question of streaming it. Like, I want to be able to. What I think, can't we do like the remote, like the PlayStation 5 remote thing, and I could have it on the TV here and then dump it into Twitch? There's some cloud streaming stuff. I could do something. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Let's take a couple more questions and then we'll figure this out. We should have Josh over too.
He's coming in, I think, in August.
Do a nice little stream.
Game Men.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Who are you gonna pick first?
I'm gonna pick. Who am I gonna pick first? I want to pick Danhausen. Is he in the game?
Hey, I think he's in the game. Cody's in the game too.
Is RJ City in the game? I want to play as RJ City. That's all I want to play as.
The
fact that Cody's in both games.
The fact that Cody is in the WWE game and the AEW game is effing bananas, and he's probably made out with like quite a nice little paycheck from both.
I wonder, when is the last time that happened?
Oh man,
someone's got to know. There has to be somebody was in a WCW game and a WWE game the same year. Could it have been Bret Hart?
X-Pac.
Okay.
Same year.
See him. So this would have had been like 99, right? 98, 99?
Yeah, Josh just wrote X-Pac. Yeah, so it is X-Pac. That was the last time it happened, so 25 years ago.
Wow. Let's see what we got here. Guys, let's take a question. Guys, send in your questions. People are excited to see Game Men back.
Yeah, me too.
All right, let's see.
Q&A time, boys and girls.
All right, I'm going to click this. Let's see if it works. Goldberg and All In. If so, against who?
Like, you want a real? I think it should be Sting.
Yeah.
I think it should be. I can't see it being a. I mean, I still am for something with MJF.
For sure.
You can't date my daughter.
What are you, crazy? What are you, Logo Bananas?
What are you? I'm from Oyster Bay. You're from Plainview. You can't date my
daughter. I don't want to see Goldberg Sting. I don't want to see Sting getting hurt.
No? I don't know.
No.
You could do something fun with them. I think it should be a tag for sure. Maybe you'll do some wacky tag.
Goldberg and Wardlow versus like somebody and somebody. Goldberg and Wardlow versus MJF and like, I don't know.
All right, cool, whatever.
Lawler. There you go.
I definitely think he should be in some sort of tag. It's dumb not to incorporate him into that show. I'm not saying put him on TV every week and put the title behind him. What I am saying is, you want casuals to show up, this is what you do.
Yeah, for sure. This is from Shin, friend of the show. How long of a reign will Baron Corbin have when he wins the NXT title? It's 100% happening.
I hope so. I think, you know what? Baron Corbin with that title would be fascinating, and I'm all for it. This is Shin's dream come true. Shin is a huge Baron Corbin fan.
Yeah. He was in Paris.
And I also want to know, what kind of snacks is Shin having right now? He's watching us. It's 11:38 on the East Coast here. What kind of snacks is Shin having?
I'm going to say a Diet Dr. Pepper.
Okay.
And Doritos.
Okay, that's cool. I'm going to go with a Toblerone.
A Toblerone?
Yeah.
When was the last time you had a Toblerone?
When is the last? Probably like 3 years ago. I had a Toblerone. No,
Really?
like a year and a half ago. I had a Toblerone. I bought a Toblerone.
You bought it? It
I
wasn't
bought
left
it.
at your house.
No. I bought a Toblerone.
I feel like I've only eaten Toblerone if somebody like brings it over, and it's usually like an older member of the family who's like, "Hey, I got some Toblerone."
I was at the airport. I got some Toblerones for everybody.
That's also the only place you could buy Toblerones.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, and apparently the Bryant Park Market on 38th Street.
This is from Tronton. You know how WWE Tronin.
Yeah.
You know how WWE gives the Super Bowl winners a championship title? Do you think if the Jacksonville Jaguars ever won the Super Bowl, they would get the 8
or the WWE title? I think that would be hysterical.
That's going to be awkward.
Yeah, that would be very awkward because that's Tony. You know what? Is it awkward if Tony is holding the WWE title with the Jacksonville Jaguars on it?
That's going to be a funny question because they actually are getting better. There's a possibility in the next 4 or 5 years that could happen.
Rich froze for a little bit. Are you back? Nope.
Oh. Uh-oh.
There you are. You went away for a little bit.
I'm back. I'm back.
He glitched.
I think, listen, that would be hysterical. They have to get both, and then like use a picture of like Triple H and Tony Khan handing the Super Bowl champs like both titles.
Yeah. What else do we have?
Brian Knight, LA Knight versus Logan Paul at SummerSlam.
You broke up. What'd you say?
This is LA Knight versus Logan Paul at SummerSlam. This is from Brian Knight.
I don't know. I think he's probably going to cash in, or maybe that is the match. I don't know. I think he should win and cash in at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
You could do that. Lo-Fi Lit says, "Are you guys getting picked up by the Ringer?" I don't think I've ever spoken to anybody from the Ringer.
Yeah.
Maybe they want to pick us up, like hold us up.
Yeah. Like
That's
physically.
Nick
that I would love.
Would be the only one.
Is Nick Hausman on the Ringer?
Yeah, that's that network that he's part of now. Is involved with the Ringer? I did believe.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
The Ringer.
The Ringer. Are you guys getting picked up by the Ring? We are totally independent right now.
Yeah. We got some stuff we're cooking on, but
maybe we do, maybe we don't. It's up to the universe.
Exactly. This is from Lewis. Sup, fellas? Happy Saturday. Can I get your thoughts on Sonata versus Jungle Boy? It seems like a weak opponent for an IWGP champ, or am I just biased?
No, you know what? You're absolutely right. But also, you have to look at this, right? Politics come into play sometimes. And, who's going to do the job and who's not going to do a job and who's willing to lose and who's not willing to lose. AEW is getting to beat Tanahashi, essentially, which is one of their greatest. You got to give and take here, and you got to have your IWGP champion look strong, and I guess you're going to look strong beating Jungle Boy. I don't know. I feel like they could have picked a different opponent, but it also could be political, and it could also be depending on who Sonata wants to work with.
Right.
And what's in storyline for him. There's a lot of parts, but I agree with you. It's not really the match I wanted for the IWGP title, but it's what we got, and I think that there's more to it than we're seeing on paper.
I think so too. I think this is going to be like an interesting match. It might be like a sleeper. It might be the sleeper of the entire show.
Yeah. This was a match. I was told about this match, and I didn't believe it.
Yeah.
I was I thought it was maybe a placeholder when I was told it, but we'll see.
Shin responded saying he's got Jolly Rancher sour gummies.
Yeah, look at that guy. That's my boy.
This is from Pro Wrestling Joe. Are you guys getting picked up by Playboy? Yep.
No, but Playgirl, yes.
Yes, secret's out.
Rich and I are going to do that Shawn Michaels pose where he has the belt covering, but it's not the belt. It's just Rich's head.
It's just...
and he's doing the same pose. And then it's my head covering his body, and then it just goes. It's an infinite loop.
It's just a lot of pictures of us laying on top of each other.
Yeah. Yeah. That's we're going to Playgirl, guys. That's the latest announcement. Official breaking story here. We have left the Wrestling Observer, and we are headed to Playgirl.
Take a look at our hogs. What is your take? This is from Shriek.
Dude, I'm like a Ken doll. I got nothing there. I lost it all.
Nothing going down.
It's just a stump like a Ken doll.
That's because of all those pills you're taking.
Dude, it's all those pills. I'm pumping up.
And I told you to quit tanning with olive oil.
Dude, that's the only way. You got to see. It's a mess in there in that tanning bed. It's slipping and sliding. You know, I don't even have to get up. I just like move my body and I just fly out the door.
Oh, this is a good one. What is your take on wrestling media reporting on backstage drama in AEW? Is it not affecting the company's growth and image?
Okay. I will say this. You and I, we don't dwell on the negative. We like to have fun with this. Sometimes things happen and conversations happen that you got to cover. For sure. Absolutely. Wrestling media reporting on backstage drama. Here's the reality. Those clicks work, and people are very interested in it, and that is why people report it. Certain things happen, and and it's important to report. I don't like the filling in the blanks, okay? Or using sensational verbiage to sell the story, because what ends up happening, it ends up becoming a total he said, she said scenario.
Right.
I would say I don't necessarily I don't buy into that stuff, but that's what the clicks are for. But I will say this, okay? There's something that Eric Bischoff said a long time ago, and a lot of people, crapped on him for saying this. He said a lot of the news and the rumors and the speculation on the internet really got to people at Time Warner AOL, right? Warner AOL at the time. And it ultimately impacted the decision-making of WCW because of the reputation WCW was getting on the internet.
Right.
I mean, a lot of that was based on truth, right? A lot of it was based on truth. But to think that these articles and these stories and Twitter does not impact people in key decision-making positions on what their decision is, if you think it doesn't work like that, then you're fooling yourself, because these people hear the same exact thing that we hear. Especially if you're invested in hundreds of $1 million into a product like AEW or WWE. They got to have their finger on the pulse, and they got to know what's going on. Unfortunately, they don't have time to sit there and to go through all the muck. But if someone comes and says something to them, they're going to listen. So I think the backstage stuff does make a part into decision-making and growth and things like that. But it's also part of the game. We're in a TMZ culture still.
Exactly. Perception is reality in a lot of cases. And if a company sees like, oh, well, we heard this was going on, it's going to sour some decision making to a certain level. It's hard to remain biased, especially when you're inundated, like you said, with the muck.
Yeah.
You want to do one more and then get out of here?
Yeah, let's do.
Oh, there we go.
Is Pac still hurt? I don't know. Brian Knight.
There it is. When Roman Reigns retires, who will induct him? Paul Heyman or Demon Diva?
Oh yeah, Issa is a
little obsessed with
a little bit. I was going to say something inappropriate that I would definitely tell her in person, but I wouldn't say on the internet.
She's going to force her way in, much like the Kool-Aid Man.
Oh, I think so. I think she'll burst through that freaking wall like the Kool-Aid Man.
Absolutely. Right.
I may be seeing her in Puerto Rico. Jess and I are looking to make a trip to Puerto Rico this summer.
Oh, you buying some land?
Her family owns a bunch of land there anyway. So. We want to go to San Juan.
Very cool.
Yeah, I like Puerto Rico. One of my favorite places to go.
I think she's gonna stab you.
Who, Issa?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
She might.
Definitely. A mandible claw her, dude. I don't care. I don't give a fuck.
I have seen you mandible claw a woman before.
I have mandible clawed a woman.
Shocking.
This is what we're ending on, by the way. This is the question we're ending on.
Thoughts on Elon versus Zuck? Zuckerberg does BJJ. I don't think Elon wants to. But you know what though? Elon really he is. What was the villain in Ninja Turtles? Krang. You know,
he does look like Krang.
He is a Krang. He is like if you take all of his clothes off, there's a little alien skull in his stomach. So, I do think Elon has that trick up his sleeve. He is from another planet, right?
I can't believe Dana White wants
100%.
to be the one to promote this. He's turning into.
I think it's a bad idea for both of them.
Yeah.
You know what? I feel like they would really go at it.
Yeah. All right. What else do we have?
I think Elon Musk is Krang, but the big reveal is that Zuckerberg has a Quado on his belly from Total Recall.
Zuckerberg is the babyface in this feud? I know. Who the hell's the babyface and who's the heel? Oh, John Morrison signed too. I think that's a good pick for him. I think he's a great talent, and I think he'll help a lot of younger guys. And his wife's there.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, John Morrison.
I didn't add that.
What is he now? Johnny TV? He's part
Johnny
of QTV.
TV. Yep. Mm-hmm. And he actually gives that stable a little more credibility.
Johnny Television.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Johnny TV.
Jonathan Television.
Jonathan Television.
Yeah. Rich is lost again. We have lost him. All right, let's do 2 more questions. Any more questions? You want to pull it up? Is Roosh leaving AEW?
Yeah,
I don't believe so. But is that a new revelation here?
Oh well, I don't know. I don't know. Well, the rumor was, didn't he leave AAA? That was the rumor.
Yeah, I think
AAA.
I think part of the problem is there's been too much talent being wasted on that TV. And now with a second show, we're most likely going to see some changes here.
My internet went out for like 2 seconds.
I saw.
It's weird.
All right, let's. Roosh had a child last week.
Okay.
It's like that movie Junior.
You know what? You know what he named him? Tom Sawyer.
What? Like the character, like Huckleberry Finn, Tom Sawyer, or like the Rush song?
The Rush song. That's why. Roosh, Rush.
Pretty good.
You know.
That
was good,
that went
no?
over my head for like 2 seconds.
It's okay.
That was
It's
really
okay.
good.
I said
You know
I
what?
said
I'll
it
give
up
you that
there.
one.
Okay, thank you.
That was good. That was good. Sorry about
One last one here, or one of the last ones. How long do you see this blood? I think you meant bloodline story going.
Bloodline. Roman turns into a vampire and it becomes a bloodline.
Oh, that'd be your dream.
I would love that.
You know, I sat down. I'm not even kidding you guys. This is really a real scenario. Okay, when I was in Vegas last year, I took one of our friends' wacky edibles. Okay, a BK broiler.
Mhm.
Okay,
Oh,
I took a
this is so
BK
great.
broiler, and
Yeah.
I took a little too much. Okay, and we were
Yeah.
sitting in the suite for the F4W party,
Easy thing to do. Yes, go
Okay.
on.
and everybody's there. Like
Mhm.
Brian's there, and JJ that takes all those great, amazing photos, right?
Yeah.
JJ was there, and I proceed to talk to JJ in the loudest way that Dave could hear on how Bruno Sammartino in 1988 should have become a vampire and feuded with Hogan. Okay, where that Bruno should have been like a real old school vampire, where he comes to the ring this and he like hovers. And I went into detail. I booked like 8 months of story as Bruno Sammartino just taking a bite out of people,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't work on certain people because they're drugs, because they have so much drugs in their system. So he goes, I'm vulnerable to your blood. And he goes to like bite Hogan, and he can't because of the steroids. He's rejecting it. I can't take your blood. And I booked this thing in front of Dave Meltzer like a crazy person. Okay?
Was he into it? Or was he just?
I
staring past you?
think he was contemplating leaping off the balcony in that suite.
Did you apologize for being so stoned?
I was fine. But I did. But everybody around me was loving the story. Like I booked. I can't even tell you what I booked. But I booked this amazing Bruno Sammartino as a vampire, and certain people like Brian Blair, and then he like attacks him in the back, and then sometimes like he goes like Hacksaw. He like depletes him of all of his energy, but he can't get to like the top guys like. Mr. Wonderful, I cannot drink your blood. It's too much. Winstrel, too much.
There definitely should be more vampires in wrestling.
When was your last cycle? I must ask you. D-ball Winstrel, and then that's like his kryptonite. He can't do it. And nobody else likes this?
I'm into it. There should be more vampires in wrestling. If they turn Roman Reigns into a vampire, I'm all for it.
I want CM Punk to become a vampire. He could be a great vampire. He doesn't
He's
sleep.
close.
He's close.
He's close to an Nosferatu.
Yeah. Okay. Danhausen for sure. RJ City has to become a vampire.
Okay.
I got to talk to him about this. Who else? Give me like 3 guys that become vampires in AEW.
Christian needs to return to his vampiric roots.
Yeah, he is a vampire though. Yeah, he needs to become a sexy vampire again. He needs to go back to his interview with interview with a vampire look for sure. Okay, Christian, but he's already a vampire.
Adam Page gets bitten and becomes a vampire. He becomes like a vampire cowboy.
Okay,
Fantastic.
Adam Page becomes one. Okay, Swerve. People are saying that Swerve should become a vampire. Roosh should be a vampire. Christian's already is one. Who? Oh yeah, they should become vampires. Renee Paquette, she could become a vampire.
Yeah, you need a couple of ladies thrown in there.
How about? But you know what though? Jon Moxley bleeds anyway. Maybe they got like an agreement with him. They just lick him after his matches, like a cat.
Well, Moxley takes the Van Helsing role because everybody's after him.
Do you remember in Batman 2 when Catwoman falls and all the cats, they start licking her and they start healing her, and that's how she identifies as a cat? I think that's what happens with Jon Moxley after his matches. They just like all of them just come up and start licking the blood off him.
I wouldn't mind seeing Moxley as like kind of the hero of this vampire saga, the AEW vampire saga.
Oh, Don Callis would be a great vampire. Now, there's 2 different ones. There's vampires and Dracules. Who's a Dracule? Who's a vampire? Danhausen's a Dracule.
Danhausen's totally a Dracula.
Okay. Christian, a vampire.
Absolutely.
We need to define these things. Blah. Jon Moxley, so much. You're bleeding too much blood. But here's the thing: the Vampire Bruno, is very yucked by blood.
Oh, he's averse to blood.
He likes blood, but like in like a cup or like through your neck, he doesn't like to see it on people. It's too gruesome. This new wrestling is too gruesome. Too much blood. All right. Are we done?
Oh, we're done. We're done.
All right. Goodbye, everybody. See you next time.
Later. Love you.
All right, everybody. Thank you. That was fun.
That was
time for a drink. When I was headlining Madison Square Garden.
Poor guy never got his question answered.
What was the question? Hold on. We're still live. What was the question?
It was about how long will the Bloodline story go?
Oh my God! I'm so sorry, dude.
If he would have spelled it with a V, we would have been fine.
Dude, if you had not spelled it with a V, none of this would have happened. Okay. Bloodline. Roman.
When are we gonna dress up? We did the poofy shirts.
We did, yeah.
We need to do full blown vampire.
Like old timey vampires.
Oh yeah, very gimmicky.
Yeah. I got a guy. Okay, He works in like theater in Broadway. Okay. And I asked him, I'm like, listen, and I held up a picture of the Shah of Iran. Okay, I said, where can I get this look? He goes, oh yeah, I got the place. I could get you all that stuff. I was like, can you get vampire stuff? He's like, what kind? And I literally said, I'm like, old timey, like what we do in the shadows. And he's like, we got so much of that.
Awesome.
I could get that done for us. Easy, breezy, no problem. No problem at all.
Let's do it.
But I do also want to dress up like the Shah of Iran.
Let's do that too.
Can we do that? Can we do where we dress up like 1950s dictators?
I'll order a.
We have to be careful.
Castro outfit.
No, I'm not saying dress up like Mussolini and the other guy with the. I'm saying dress up like, I don't know, like a Gaddafi.
I think you can get away with it to a certain extent.
If
you don't address it.
You could dress up like a Middle Eastern king from the 70s.
We're gonna do dictator cosplay.
Everyone need to know it's a bit. Definitely need to make sure everyone knows it's a bit.
No. This is not a bit. This is a lifestyle decision I'm trying to make. I played that lottery. I played the lottery. Okay, I bought $80 worth of tickets. The mega ball is like 400 and something million, and the other one is like 250 million.
Yeah.
I want you all to know that if I happen to win the lottery, I would take care of everybody here, right? Rich would be retired. MG I would get him another hole for him to live in. But I will permanently dress up like I am a 1960s dictator of a very small country that has way too many guns.
A bunch of weird medals and sunglasses and shit. And
a lot of sunglasses, a lot of sunglasses. Yeah. And I'm not going Saudi prince. I'm going full with the fake medals, and definitely sunglasses all the time. And then every now and then I dress up. I dress
captain's hat.
Oh yeah, big old captain's hat. Yeah. So I just want you guys to know all this got sprung out because of a typo. Instead of a B, we got a V, and now we went down. The bloodline equals a super rabbit hole of Andrew's mind and what I think about daily. Do you know how often I message Rich outfits like that? I'm like, what do you think of this? Didn't I just send you pictures of the Shah of Iran?
Oh, 100%. It's a daily thing. It's a morning. It's every morning and every afternoon.
I swear to God, I'm not even kidding. This is like real life situations here. It just
Don't
shows
pull
you
the curtain back too far.
No. No, I also want to dress up in Sting makeup all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We should do double stings.
Oh, you want to do double stings? We could do that too.
Double stings.
Yeah.
Double stings and also the Spanish Inquisition at one point.
You want to dress up like the Crusaders?
Yeah, let's like all in red, like
all in red. We could do that. Dress up like M. Bison. Yeah, like that's the look I'm looking for. Of course.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
All the M. Bisons.
All the M. Bisons. I would do that. Who would you dress up as?
Oh, if I had a choice?
Yeah.
George Washington.
Richard Nixon.
Oh.
I do. All right. Time to go. I know you got to go do stuff.
All right, let's get out of here.
All right, peace, guys. I'll see you all tomorrow. Wrestling Observer Live. Doing a pre-show for Forbidden Door. You can catch that on the Wrestling Observer website. Probably, I'm releasing it early, like 3:00 in the afternoon. It'll be up there. And awesome. That's it. Enjoy the show, guys. Bye-bye for now.
Later,
Gator.